Hello, welcome to McMaster. I wanted to congratulate you and your student on joining a new community, and congratulations on such a successful high school experience. Over the next little while, you're going to hear from a series of different staff and students about a variety of ways that we support students and residents maximize their time and their first year experience with us. You're going to learn about ways that you can help contribute to your student success, and certainly ways we approach supporting your student to help them do the best they can over the course of an important transitionary year. There'll be certainly lots of opportunities for growth and development, learning and building their network and community that they'll rely on to be successful over the course of their time with us. Sit back and relax and enjoy the presentation.
All right, parents, now you get to relax a little bit. For a long time, you've had to manage your students' meals, appointments, and deadlines, as well as your own. Your role is going to be as important as ever, but it's going to change. While they're with us, our students are becoming independent and learning to take responsibility for themselves. Your role will be to provide advice, support, and guidance. And when they come home on the weekend, don't be surprised if they bring all of their laundry with them.
So for a lot of students, this is going to be their first time really living on their own, and with that is going to come a lot of new changes and new things that they're not experiencing before. So a lot of times they may feel stressed and they may reach out to you and they may be upset, or they may be just voicing their concerns about residence. And we can assure you that with a new transition, there's always stress, and I think it's normal for students to be concerned, but the best thing that parents can do is just let students know that it's just a normal part of a new transition in their life. That's a very big transition. And being in residence, they're going to have access to tons of peer support. So they'll have the community advisors, which are peers who live within in the residence building, who provide support in tons of ways. And they'll also have residence managers as well to reach out to if they want to. And of course, they're going to be here busy building a lot of connections and making friends and really building those networks to be able to support them. And of course, I'm sure as parents, that's what you want for them as well. So if they reach out to you with some concerns in the beginning, don't be worried. Just be rest assured it's part of the new transition that they're going through, and they'll be okay.
Here at McMaster, we communicate with students via email. Students have their McMaster email account that we consistently send messages to them for updates on important things in residence. Students can activate their McMaster email with their Mac ID and their login through Mosaic. We also have a residence e-newsletter that we send out to students monthly with updates and important information that they need to be aware of. One thing for parents to be aware of is that the communication is going to go directly to the student, which means that you should have a communication plan with your student to understand how you're going to exchange with that information. The residence portal is also an avenue where students can see their email messages. So for example, when we send an email to them, they can log into their residence portal, which is the same portal that they made their application for residence. They can find their name at the top right-hand corner, and a drop-down menu will appear where messages can be seen. Students can also stay up to date on information in residence and programs and activities and awesome things happening through the residence information screens. These are TV screens that are located within each building in the lobby area, and we consistently make sure that the content is up to date for students to be aware of things. Personal fridges are not permitted in residence. Students can lease a mini fridge from Coldex. Students who rent the fridge by the deadline will have their fridge delivered directly to their room for them prior to move-in. But don't worry if you've missed the deadline, not to worry. Coldex will be back on campus during Welcome Week, and they will be able to provide you with the fridge outside the back of the truck. To find out the deadlines for the Coldex mini fridge rental, please check your residence e-newsletter or check our website at housing.mcmaster.ca. Students that are located in bunk and loft triple rooms, we are providing them a complimentary mini rental fridge. It will be there when you arrive on campus.
So move-in day is a really special day, and there's a lot of important processes for you to keep in mind before you arrive on campus. Number one, make sure that your boxes are labeled with all of your students' information, including their name, room number, and building. This is super important to get done before you arrive on campus, as it's critical of the move-in process when our faculty reps take away your students' belongings when you arrive to campus. Also, important to keep the GPS at home. We have provided move-in maps which are available on our website that show you the specific way to enter campus on that day. We will have plenty staff on hand in bright orange vests that will be able to direct you on how to get to the check-in area and to the front of the residence building. please have patience. We do have a process and everybody will make it into residence on time. Number 2, it's really important for your student to bring photo ID, specifically government photo ID. Passports, health card, license, or age of majority card are critical to the move-in process. Our check-in procedure, where students pick up their keys, is all through a drive-through method, which means our staff will be coming up to your window and asking for photo ID to be able to check you in. Also, make sure to pack your barcode, either a screenshot or pull it up on your phone using data or make a printout. These will be emailed out to everybody before move-in happens. The barcode is what gets your student into residence and their keys. All of your keys will be gathered before you get to the front of the residence building, so it's a seamless process. Number 3, make sure to bring your McMaster spirit. Our faculty, reps, and staff are in droves of numbers and will be cheering you in all the way to the front of the residence store building. If your student is not into being cheered, that is okay. Please make sure to let our staff know and our faculty reps know, as they will be marking the cars that do not want car side cheering. The atmosphere is great. There will be lots of different humans in different colored suits, and it's all a part of the McMaster charm. Enthusiasm is encouraged, patience is necessary, and just generally having a great time and listening to our staff is absolutely key to make yours and our move-in process as smooth as possible. When it comes to December and April move-out, the processes are both very different. In December, students are able to leave all of their belongings in their room, minus anything that they need to bring home, including laundry or perishable food items. All students are asked to leave residence either 24 hours after their last final exam or by December 21st before noon. All of the student staff will also be leaving, and residence will be closed during the December break. In April, students are required to move out of residence by 3 p.m. after their last final exam or by noon on Tuesday, April 30th. All rooms should be left back to the way that they are found during move-in, including returning any recycling and garbage bins that were posted in the room before you moved in. Important reminders for your students to know before they arrive on campus. They must upload a photo ID to their Mosaic account so that their student cards are able to be printed and distributed to them when they arrive on campus. This should be done by tomorrow, Sunday, August 19th, in order for them to receive their student ID when they move into residence. As well, don't forget to take a photo and upload it to the residence portal. The students should be doing this before they arrive on campus, because if they don't, we take a lovely photo of them inside the car and there's a $20 fee. Best to get this all done before you arrive on campus, so it's a fun and seamless process for everybody involved. And last but not least, while the student is making sure that their photo ID is uploaded in Mosaic for their student cards, make sure to update all of the emergency contact information on their student account in Mosaic. All of your students will know what these platforms are and will be able to sign in with them using their Mac ID information. Welcome to campus.
When your student arrives on campus, there are going to be lots of things to do. Right from the start of move-in day, there's going to be a series of different types of programs that are run in residence, and a lot of which will start on that move-in day and continue throughout the whole week. Welcome Week is filled with lots of different types of activities. If you take a look at the Student Success website, if you look up Student Success McMaster Welcome Week schedule, you'll be able to see a full listing of a lot of the different types of events that will be happening. There are lots of different things, and we definitely encourage you to choose events that you think you would be interested in, and those will help you to meet other students and people who are also interested in similar things. There is a lot going on, lots of different types of things, both within residence. Residence itself runs quite a wide variety of different types of programming. So your individual residents will have a series of different activities from the start of the day, right in the morning until the end of the day, and those will be intermixed with some campus-wide and faculty-specific events as well. So by taking a look at that schedule online, you'll be able to get a good sense of the McMaster general campus events, and then when you move in, you'll be able to hear more about your residence-specific programming. When your student arrives on campus, there are lots of different supports that are here for students to access. For starters, we have Upper Year students, ROAs, which stand for Residence Orientation Advisors, who help plan all Welcome Week activities that are run in the building. They work with a group of students called RORs, Residence Orientation Representatives, who help actually implement those events during Welcome Week. Both the ROAs and the RORs are here through the entire week to help your student work through any challenges they may face during their first week transition. They'll also be here throughout the entire year to run year-long programming, so they're definitely a constant source of support in residence that students can always turn to ask questions, or just to learn more about university or McMaster in general. I know for a lot of students, moving into residence may be the first time that they're moving away from home and living away from their families, and this definitely can be a very nerve-wracking experience for a lot of people. As parents, you definitely can play a large role in helping to encourage students to attend different welcoming activities that they might be interested in. These activities are definitely designed to connect students with others who have similar interests. However, none of the activities or events are mandatory in any way. Students are definitely encouraged to pick and choose events that best align with their interests, and not to feel pressured to go to anything that they may not be comfortable going to or just would rather not to. While Welcome Week provides a great opportunity to start that transition into university life, there are a lot of other programs that we run throughout the entire year by community advisors, residence orientation advisors, and residence reps. A lot of these activities will center on residence life's 4 educational priorities. I'll briefly run through all 4 so you can get a sense of what these programs would look like. For starters, one of the priorities is health and wellness. A lot of programs will focus on having students explore different resources on campus that relate to the health and wellness topics, as well as learning about different activities in connection with athletics and recreation, as well as other groups on campus that focus on those themes. Secondly, we have inclusive communities. This priority is focused on making sure that residents can be a safe and inclusive space for everyone, and a lot of events that relate to this theme will include things like potlucks or discussions with international students and other students on campus. Third, we have the theme of community engagement. This is a large focus this year, as we really would like to encourage students to get to know the Hamilton community better. This could include checking out nature trails that we have just on the exterior of campus, as well as looking into different shops and businesses in the Hamilton community. One of the large goals behind this is to encourage students to connect with community partners and learn more about volunteer work or interest opportunities. And the 4th educational priority is personal growth. So a lot of what we do in residence is to focus on encouraging students to pursue their interests and look towards what they might like to pursue in the future. So this theme is definitely interwoven into all the events we run, as they do largely focus on student interests. And lastly, while this is not one of the key educational priorities, a lot of programming in residence does focus on academics. So there will be often study sessions or study help sessions where students can go and learn more information, ask upper years questions about courses they might be taking, and definitely have help with editing essays, working through difficult math problems, or anything of that nature.
Here at McMaster, residence is an incredible experience for students. They get the opportunity to meet new people, make a community, and also grow while they're at it. We have community advisors, so they're upper year students placed on every floor. Their role is to help the building come together as a community. If you have conflicts, they're there to help you out. Don't know where to go when you lost your key, they're also there to help you out, and just generally there to support you in any way you need. One thing that they do is sit down with your student and their roommate and have a conversation about creating a roommate agreement. Now this just lays out things like lights out, tidiness and cleanliness, and all that good stuff. That way, expectations are set from the get-go. So one instance that could be kind of awkward is meeting your roommate for the first time if your student has a roommate, but there's a lot of positives that can come from this experience too. They get to meet somebody new and have a support system right off the bat. One thing that you could do during this experience is take the time to meet the family that's come to support your student's roommate, or say hello to the community advisors on the floor and get to know the people who will be there supporting your students throughout the year. And after you leave, not to worry, those community advisors will be there to help sort out any conflicts that may arise. And also on top of that, again, help support your student throughout their residence journey. So we do have community advisors on call, also residence managers on call. That means they're available 24/7 to help students out if they ever need support. The CAs are the first point of contact, and if your student is having an issue, they can go and help them out. So in buildings, there's quite a few common rooms, and those are spaces that are always open for students to hang out and meet new people. If your student doesn't have a roommate, not to worry, these common rooms are always filled with a lot of students, and CAs will run events throughout the year to facilitate connections. So not to worry, there's always somebody there to support them.
In residence, most of our students do have roommates, and throughout the year, roommate conflicts can arise. Now, your student may come to you and talk about a conflict that they are having with their roommate, but they may not talk about what steps have been taken or what they've been doing to try and solve this conflict. We would encourage you to talk to your student and ask them if they have talked about it with their roommate, and encourage them to have that conversation with them. This is something that many students may be not as comfortable with, as they haven't had to deal with these types of conflicts or these types of situations in their life in the past. Now, once they've had that conversation, the next step that we would encourage them to do is to have a conversation with their community advisor on the floor. In the beginning of the year, the community advisor will have set up a roommate residence agreement in order to have them best set out guidelines and expectations for the year. And this is something that community advisor can come back to and work with those students to try and resolve any conflicts and work out together with them. If this doesn't work out and things continue to be an issue, then the community advisor can come forward to someone such as myself, a residence manager, and we can come in and work together to mediate a conflict resolution and work with the students in the room to see what best solutions we can come up with.
Living in residence is very different than living at home. Your student will have to adjust to a lot of different changes. It might be a little bit louder, there could be other people in the room with them, especially if they're living in a double or triple room. Some things that I found very helpful when trying to sleep at night were sleeping masks, earplugs, white noise machines, headphones, and fans. Another thing that's very different living in residence as opposed to living at home is that in a lot of traditional style residence buildings, there'll be communal washrooms. For these communal washrooms, your students really going to want to have shower shoes, make sure they have a robe, things to make them more comfortable showering in a semi-public space. Another thing that I found super helpful to bring was an extension cord and a power bar. There's only so many outlets in your residence room, and if you're sharing with some roommates, if you're all trying to plug in your phones and your laptops, you might run out of outlets pretty quickly. Here are some of the things that your student must not forget when coming to university. These things will make your life so much easier and will be super helpful in the coming year. You definitely want to bring garbage and recycling bags because the university doesn't provide this. Shopping bags are super helpful for this. You can use them to put your garbage in. You want to bring command hooks and sticky tack. They'll help you decorate your room because you're not allowed to drill holes or damage the walls at all. These are super safe and you can hang up all of your posters or pictures to make the room feel more like yours.
Here at Housing and Conference Services, we have a dedicated facilities team that can help with any maintenance issues. Students can submit work orders on the residence portal. Some common examples of work orders are plugged toilet, faulty door lock, broken furniture, and faulty appliances. Work orders are completed on a priority basis. Now, basically with McMaster, we have certain levels of priorities. We have a priority 1 to 2 days and a priority 3 to 5 days. Now, a priority 1 would be, for example, your students has a faulty lock, can't get in their room, or their room is not locking. Now, we take security very seriously here at McMaster, and your student safety is important. That's why a faulty lock will be a high priority. Now, a priority 3 to 5 would be something where, let's say they have a plugged sink or a broken chair or a broken desk drawer. That would be a priority 3 to 5 days. If you need more information on facility services, go to housing.mcmaster.ca.
Here in residence, we have policies around alcohol in place to ensure the safety of our students. We do have some communities that are alcohol-free, but alcohol is permitted in the majority of our residence buildings. Students who are of age are allowed to have alcohol in their rooms. However, no glass bottles are permitted. Alcohol is also not permitted in the hallways or the common rooms of our buildings. Students who are of age are not allowed to provide alcohol to students who are not of age or minors. I encourage you to log on to our website to review the alcohol policy in more detail with your student.
A big question that we often get from parents is how secure residences are. And residences are very secure. What we do in residences, students are allowed to have visitors, so they're allowed to have friends come over to study, friends come over to hang out when they would like. But of course, them and their roommates will discuss what's appropriate for them. And then on days that tend to be a bit busier with visitors, like Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, we do have community advisors who sit at the doors with guest registration staff as well, and they sign people in. So students will be restricted on only being able to sign in one guest, so that way we can monitor all the students who are within the building. And then every night as well, we'll have community advisors who do sweeps of the buildings to make sure that everyone's safe and that they know what's going on in the buildings and that nobody has any security concerns that day.
All of our constables are sworn peace officers. It means we enforce the law as well as providing a safe environment on the campus for students, faculty, and visitors. As well as special constables, we also have an emergency first response team, an excellent group of volunteers that provide 24-hour emergency medical assistance to everyone on campus. We also have a Safe Walk Home team that will provide an escorted walk anywhere within 30 minutes of the campus during the evening hours. In addition, our residence buildings are all secured with keycard access. That means the building is locked and can only be accessed by a keycard at the door. Also, after 9 p.m., there are enhanced security measures in place to make sure the residences are secure and safe.
I'm here to talk to you today about some of the programs that we have to offer here at McMaster. One of the programs that we offer is the Constable in Residence program. Safety is of the utmost importance to us, making sure that students and faculty here on campus are safe. One of the things that we offer that's available to download is the MUST app. Please log on to our website and look up this important app. Students can download it to their phone. The information can be provided to parents. You can review it together, so you better know what the app's about.
Here in Residence, we really want to help support our students with their academics. We understand that in the classroom they have a lot of supports through their professors and their teaching assistants, and even their faculties provide a lot of direct support as well. But we understand that for students living in residence, they're here on campus all the time, but don't necessarily have access to the same academic supports that they would during the day after those are closed during regular business hours. So something that we've implemented a couple of years ago is what we call Residence Academic Centers, or RACs. So in RACs, they're hosted by Residence Academic Support Assistants who are upper year students or graduate students who are very well versed in their subject area. So resident students can come drop into these services, and really they're hosted in residence. They're spaces where students can come hang out with their friends. They can use it as a quiet study space that maybe they aren't finding elsewhere on campus. Or if they come with specific questions, they can use our residence academic support assistants to get specialized, individualized help on whatever topic it is they need. So these residence academic centers are open throughout the week, typically from Sunday to Thursday, and they're open in the evenings. So a lot of you parents may be sitting here thinking that, oh, my child has to come back home during reading week in the fall and in the winter. So while students are really lucky to have a reading week and take that time off of school, it's important to note that your child doesn't have to come home from residence during reading week if you don't want to or if they don't want to. One of the nice things about reading week at McMaster is that residences are still open for the entire week, and we'll still have community advisors who are living in residence during these times too. So we treat the residents' safety and security just as seriously as we do through the rest of the year, even though the buildings are generally quieter because a lot of students will go home. As well, a lot of the dining options on campus will still be open too. So even though your student may not have classes during the week, may not even need to leave the building necessarily, they can still go get food and not have to worry about doing groceries or finding any other options like that. So aside from all of those safety security details, we'll also do a lot of fun things during reading week as well to keep the students who are still there for the week entertained. So my role in residence life is a community development coordinator. So I work with a team of 3 other community development coordinators, and the focus of our job is to put on programming throughout the year that helps support our residence curriculum. So with the scope of residence life, we understand that students are here to be students first, and they do a lot of learning inside the classroom all the time, but we want to make sure that we're developing them as students and supporting their education while they're outside the classroom. And we do that through a lot of the programming that we offer in residence. So some of this will be on a very system-wide level. We'll focus on programming that affects students in every single residence building. And usually these are focused around our educational priorities, things like building inclusive communities, or working on personal growth and health and wellness, and community engagement. So these are things that we understand that students should develop at some point during their residence experience, and will be doing so regardless what building they're in. So we try and touch points of students throughout their entire residence experience with all of these learning outcomes. So at McMaster, we have these themed communities that we call living learning communities, or LLCs. So LLCs are a fairly new concept that we've come up with that cover various interests that students may have. At McMaster, we have 11 different living learning communities, and they range all the way from health and wellness to women in leadership, and then back down to esports and gaming. So just kind of from that taster of a few of them, you can see that there's a wide variety of interests that students can get involved in their residence experience. So when students apply to residence, they can choose to apply to a living learning community, and in doing so, as a part of the application process, they indicate why they're interested in the living learning community, what it is they can learn from the living learning community, and most importantly, what they think they can contribute to the community as a whole. So through this, we can vet through these applications and really select students who we think will help to build a stronger community in residence, predominantly based around these interests that they'll share with their peers. So with living learning communities, students live in residence and have the same residence experience as all the other students, but a lot of their programming and a lot of their other supports are focused around these interests. So for example, the community advisors who are upper year students who live in residence will be selected based on their experience with this theme. Perhaps they might be from a faculty that's more relevant to this theme. Community development coordinators, like myself and my colleagues, we work throughout the year to plan programming that helps support students, but also helps to deliver some learning outside the classroom that's related to their theme too. So, for example, this might mean we'll bring guest speakers into residence from the Hamilton area, even internationally once in a while. We might have students go on field trips or do some service learning in Hamilton to get connected with the McMaster community, but also with the broader Hamilton community. And of course, making sure that in all these experiences, we're doing things that are still fun and enjoyable for the students, but hopefully they're getting something valuable out of it as well. So with living learning communities, we know that anecdotally students have a great time in them, but also from the data we hear often that students have greater reports of academic success, greater reported social connections in residence, and really just an overall better residence experience. So we're really happy to be onboarding so many new living learning communities to offer more options to the students that are coming into residence.
Here at Max Money Center, you're going to meet with someone like me. And what we want to do here is try to support your student with any kinds of issues or concerns they have about how they can use their money effectively. So one of the things that we do, that I've noticed anyways over the years, is that students often get lump sum payments. They get it from OSAP, or perhaps you are withdrawing money from your registered education savings plan, or the student themselves has had a lump sum money that they've saved over part-time jobs and summer jobs. That can be really challenging, to take a lump sum and know that they have to make that money last for maybe months on end. Of course, in the course of OSAP, they'll get money in September and they won't get any funding again until January. So that's difficult. And when students have not come with a lot of experience in using money in, when they were living at home with you, it's even more difficult because it's not something that they built up any skills around. So one of the things that we can do is meet with your student and sit down and say, okay, let's look at all the money that's coming in and look at how long do we have to make it last for. And we will sit there, and if they want to come and see me every single month and just make sure that they're on track, that's great. If they want to do a one-shot deal and make sure we can come up with a plan that gets them all the way to the next big lump sum, that's great too. So that's probably one of the biggest things that we do at Max Money Center, but we have lots of other services. One of the things is that we want to provide information so that your student makes good financial decisions and choices. We want them to understand the banking industry. Some of them won't know the difference between a savings and a checking account, or what kind of account is best for them. They don't understand perhaps what a student line of credit is, or maybe they don't understand how interest accrues and how it can affect what they're doing in terms of savings and how much it affects when they're trying to pay off debt. We'll talk to them about that. We'll give them examples so they really understand it. We'll talk to them about the credit industry. How do you pick a credit card? What's the best one for them? How do they make sure that they use it effectively, that it doesn't hurt their credit reports? We'll talk to them if they have poor credit history. How do they rebuild it so that during this time when they're students, they can come out at the end of these 4 years with a very strong report and score. We can help them with taxes. We have do-it-yourself workshops. They can meet with me individually and I'll do their workshop. Well, they'll actually do their own tax filing, but I'm sitting there watching them. We also have just workshops in general about what the taxation system is like in this country and why they're paying taxes, and just understanding their paycheck if they're working, why they're paying Canada Pension, why they're paying employment insurance, those kinds of things. We also, if your student is interested in maybe having a side hustle, how do they go about starting it? What do they need to do? So there's really nothing in the financial world that we can't sit down and have a conversation about in terms of information or actually helping them with a problem. We can do other things too. I run workshops twice a week on all the kind of topic areas that I've just been able to point out to you.
Here at the Student Success Center, we help students succeed personally, professionally, and academically. Through our programs and services, we help students from the time they accept their offer to McMaster University up until they graduate, even 10 years after they graduate, through our alumni programming. We play an important role in helping students transition to university through Welcome Week programming, academic and writing support, one-to-one appointments and workshops on subjects like note-taking, preparing for examinations, studying, and meeting the university expectations in terms of writing support. We're committed to seeing students develop personally as well. We have an exchange program that students can take part in, taking their experience global, as well as learning how to internationalize their degree through our Global Experience program that we have offered. It's brand new this year. Max Money Center that offers one-to-one money coaching as well as workshops to help students understand their financial needs. As part of our career and employment services, we have a variety of workshops, appointments, and drop-ins available to help students understand their career exploration options, job search strategies, both for part-time, summer opportunities, as well as preparing them for employment when they graduate. We have lots of opportunity to connect to employers through job shadow programs, career fairs, company recruitment events. We help students prepare for further education programs if they're looking to further their degree through grad school or colleges or professional schools. And we assist with every step of the decision-making process along the way through advising and counseling appointments. Student Success Center also has a diversity program helping students to overcome barriers to employment, including students with disabilities. We have the new CAPS program, a career access program for students. And through that program, students are able to access one-to-one customized support that helps them to achieve their career and employment goals. Student Success Center is also home to International Student Services, where students can come for UHIP support, ask immigration questions, get connected to any campus supports or resources that they need in order to make this campus their home. You can learn more about the Student Success Center's full range of services on our website, studentsuccess.mcmaster.ca, and students are also welcome to book appointments on oscarplusmcmaster.ca, including registering for workshops and all kinds of appointments, including those from Max Money Center.
So I bet you're all really excited about your sons and daughters coming to university next year. The transition is often pretty seamless, but for others it can be a little bit of a challenge. University is not quite the same as high school, and the expectations are a bit harder, and the expectations that you might have for your sons and daughters and the expectations your sons and daughters might have for themselves can actually create some of the challenges they may face coming to university for the first time. No one ever expects that there are going to be issues that are going to arise, but everyone has some issue that will arise in the first year because there's just so many changes occurring. Classes are different, you're meeting new friends, they're having to live on their own and make their own decisions. They actually have to get up on their own in the morning and get to class. There's so many different things that are different from when they were at home that for some people, they'll roll with it, and for others, there might be some issues that arise. At McMaster, we have some amazing resources available to students when they're struggling with anything related to their academics or their personal life or their social life, their relationships. We're sort of like the guidance counselor at their high school, but we have a lot more resources than what's available in their high school. So for example, we have doctors and nurses for any medical kinds of concerns they might have. We have counselors who are available to discuss any issues related to their personal life, their success at school and their relationships. And we have wellness education for them to find out things that maybe they didn't know about how to care for themselves and manage things like stress. So there are a lot of resources on campus through our center for sure. We're situated in the student center in the basement in B101, and students can come any time of the day during the week. We're open Monday to Friday. Monday to Thursday we're open 8:30 to 8, and Fridays 8:30 to 4:30. So there's excellent access, and it's not too difficult to make an appointment. If they're looking for a counseling appointment, we have walk-in appointments every day, and they can come in and book a half-hour consultation appointment where we'll help assess what the issues are and then direct them to the right resources. So it's very easy to get an appointment. Sometimes during the school year, they might have to wait a little longer for their follow-up appointment, but for getting a first appointment within a day or two for almost everyone. One thing I did want to add is that you are amazing resources for your sons and daughters. You are the people that they will turn to when they need some support, and it's just something as simple as a phone call or a text message, maybe a care package from home, but being available to listen is probably the most important thing. No judgment, just good listening. And I will add one other thing. At the Student Wellness Center, you can't call us and ask us for information. Our relationship with your sons and daughters is very confidential. We consider them adults, and so we will treat them as such. And if you want information, you're going to have to ask them. One thing I do want to mention is often around midterms is when they start to panic and struggle a little bit. As a parent, I think it's important that if they're talking to you about struggling, it's always best to get help early rather than waiting till it's too late, because there's a lot of things we can do before final exams that can be helpful. But if they wait till the final exams, that becomes a lot more challenging for us to help them get through that period of time. In addition to all of what I've just mentioned, we're launching a new program called Pathways to Care. And with this program, we want to make sure that students get the right help that they need, because not everyone needs the same kind of help and the same intensity of help. So some people might want to just learn some things on their own or do some interactive online programs. We have a wonderful program called WellTrack. The ministry has launched a new program called Big White Wall. All of these are individual online programs that people can download apps or work on their computer on their own. But in addition to that, we have a lot of group programs. So we see a lot of people who are dealing with topics like anxiety and stress and resilience and eating disorders. And we run a lot of programming, group programming, that can help students to sort of learn some of the strategies and skills to make living with those issues a lot easier. And we run about 30 different groups every semester. So there's a lot of variety and a lot of options.
So Welcome Week and university in general is often associated with a lot of alcohol, substance use, and a lot of other negative things. But what we know from different surveys that have gone out on campus is that actually a lot fewer students choose to partake in alcohol and cannabis use than we might actually expect. Our Welcome Week reps get training from student affairs professionals on campus, including myself, on responding to and preventing sexual violence, promoting mental health and well-being, responsible alcohol use, and responsible cannabis use to ensure that everyone's having a great Welcome Week on their own terms. We'll also be having a variety of educational campaigns during Welcome Week, such as lawn signs that will have harm reduction messaging around alcohol and cannabis use to ensure that if students do use these substances, that they're doing so in a way that reduces any possible harms. As your student enters McMaster University, there's going to be a lot of new people, a lot of new connections made, a lot of good times, and we have a lot of different services on campus to address their sexual health needs. So SHEC, which is the Student Health Education Center, is a student-run program that offers Sex 101 workshops in all of the residences. Here in the Swell, as part of the Student Wellness Center, we have a group of student volunteers on a sexual health team, which is one of our 4 volunteer teams, who will also be running programs to promote healthy sexuality. Further, we have a wonderful sexual violence response coordinator on campus, Megan Ross, and she's available to support survivors with all of their needs if they've experienced sexual violence, including academic accommodations and setting up counseling. Our sexual violence response coordinator on campus is also connected to Sasha, which is the Sexual Assault Center of Hamilton and area. Sasha offers free and confidential counseling and a 24-hour support line for survivors of sexual violence. And the support line is also available to those supporting survivors of sexual violence. We're so lucky to have such a great resource in our local community.
Okay, so we have many different food options on campus for all sorts of tastes and preferences or dietary restrictions. In addition, we label our menus with calorie counts, and we have indicators identifying halal, vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-friendly, so students can make informed choices while they're dining with us. And we try to make sure that those are available across our campus, so students have a diverse range of choices throughout the year. And as a culinary team, we're constantly striving to innovate and update so that way students are constantly getting fresh and exciting ideas from our menus. If a student has a dietary restriction or a food allergy, they can contact the hospitality services offices or email me to book an appointment. And we have a discussion together where we talk about their dietary restrictions and how hospitality services can best support them while they dine on campus. In addition, the chefs and managers are always available to students to answer any questions they might have. And we have 2 stations on campus that help students throughout their time so they can feel empowered to navigate campus on their own. So we have the Zen Den, which is our gluten-friendly stir-fry station, and a new station this year is Simple, which is our allergen-friendly station where all the meals there will be served without Canada's top 10 allergens. Meal plans are relatively easy for students to use. It's right on their student card. Their basic dollars can be used across campus at any of our 20 locations, and they are tax exempt. Their freedom dollars can be used for non-food items on campus, or they can use them with our off-campus partners just to help students break up the routine in their day-to-day. They can add money online or in person at very little risk because their basic funds carry over as per our policy, and freedom dollars can be refunded at any time. Parents can feel confident that their students will have a wide variety of things to choose from and rest easy knowing that there are healthy available options to them in addition to those chicken fingers and fries, but we also have salads, vegetarian and vegan menu options, as well as grilled and fresh veggies every day. Students can find all of that information on their menu boards, but they can also download our Mac Eats app where they'll have access to nutritional information, hours of operation, and what is open and available to them and where it is on campus. In addition, they can follow us across our social media platforms or check out our website where we have all of our information and we post specials and exciting things that we're doing as a department.